Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Allen with Gaper.io, and I'm here today with Rhonda Shrader. She is the Director of Entrepreneurship at the Haas School of Business at Berkeley. Good afternoon, Rhonda.
Hello.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's as you can tell, I got a nice, I'm just overlooking the green there and out by the Pacific Ocean.
Love it.
So, can you just share a brief background of yourself and your work experience?
Sure. So right now I am the Director of Entrepreneurship at the Haas School of Business. And I also lead a program for the National Science Foundation across UC Berkeley, UCSF, and Stanford. So I get to work with a lot of smart people every day and help them think about how to commercialize their technologies and make their startup dreams come true.
Wow, very impressive. And being in the Bay Area, I know those are all phenomenal schools. So that must be a really exciting job.
It's super. And it's great because as an entrepreneur, I was a serial entrepreneur before I came to this position. Started my first company as an undergrad with a professor from MIT. That company went public. It is still around today, which is awesome. And then had a couple of other really nice startups, exits, and one dot bomb. So I've seen the full continuum of experiences, and it's great to be able to share that with the students, especially now during COVID-19, because I've lived through these things and I can realistically say this too shall pass.
Yes, it will. All these things always pass. So what has been your experience with remote employment, both as a remote employee and a remote employer?
Yeah, so as a remote employee, I had a freak accident at the beginning of last semester, literally on the first day of school, that left me immobile in a wheelchair for 5 months. So I had to quickly adapt to being remote, not only to lead the programs I run, but I was also teaching that semester. So I had to learn in a hurry how to communicate with folks, how to teach remotely. And that was an interesting experience.
Well, what was your takeaway from that? That's a very unique experience.
Yeah, it was. My takeaway was, yes, it can be done. There are some things that you should especially look out for. And you should deploy all the tools at your disposal to make that as seamless as possible.
Yeah, well, it probably came in handy in the last month.
I've been remoting like a champ, so it's been really nice to share that experience. But as a founder, one of the startups I worked on, we were commercializing some technology from Stanford. So we were working with our team, the Stanford team, and then an offshore team. That was also an interesting experience because the incentives weren't aligned, and we didn't realize that until deep into the project. So that's something that I've carried forward into all of my remote experiences since then, is that you really have to align those incentives at the beginning of a project or program or whatever to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Very good. So what do you think is the future of remote employment, and what do you think can be done differently to make it more effective?
Ooh, that's a great question. I am really excited about the future. And I feel like a forcing function like what we're going through now is showing everyone that it is possible to still be productive and do things remotely, which is a bonus for those of us that are secretly introverts and really love working from home and are more productive working when we can actually go off and think and don't need a water cooler. So I think that's going to be the future of it. It's very bright. And for, the segment of the work population that it is not totally extroverted, this is going to be a boon.
Yeah, and can you explain a little bit about your role as the Director of Entrepreneurship, and just how you help these startups, or these kids, I should say.
I know I call them kids. I have to force myself to call them students, but yeah, they are kids, and I love them like kids. So my role, I'm really focused on curriculum. I believe that there's more to a startup than just giving people a space, throwing them in the room, and giving them mentorship. That's not teaching entrepreneurship. We really double down at Berkeley on teaching lean startup methodology. So helping the students learn it, helping them apply it, helping them to scale their companies using it. Because there's more to, after you find product market fit, there's a lot more to do. So trying to design programs and accelerators and activities for them to use these skills over and over. That's really my role.
Oh, cool. And I'm curious, I mean, do all of the students in this curriculum, do they all have a startup?
They do. For our programs, for the class I teach, we give them a technology, some of the technology sitting on the shelf, and there's lots of those at a big research university like Berkeley. And then we teach them the process so that they learn, the inventors of the technology learn, and it creates a virtuous cycle.
Oh, that's great. That's a great idea. So you brought up the current pandemic, and it's forced pretty much the globe to go remote, right? Have there been any unique challenges that you found in the educational institutions or, from this?
Not with the students. The students have adapted seamlessly. Literally, our campus shut down on a Tuesday, and we had a long scheduled hackathon that started Friday. So the students just, working from, we have 6 different UCs in this hackathon. So having everyone come together in remote rooms and work together over the weekend, we just got everything sorted out. So by that next Monday, we were all champs at this. I think for some of the people less comfortable with technology, I don't want to say older people because that's a bias, but those with less experience were a little less enthusiastic. But I think now everybody's seen it can be done, and there's not a lot of loss in productivity or learning.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been working from home for 10 years, so it's just I have to be in my place a lot more than I used to be.
Preaching to the choir, hallelujah.
Yeah, can't go out for lunch anymore. I got to cook my own. So, so there's a lot of companies like Gaper that help develop, build, and scale products, especially for startups. How important do you think this is going to be in the future for the startups you deal with, that need to hire quality people and quickly?
Absolutely. I think this is going to be a very powerful tool for helping startups, especially, get up and running quickly without having to go through a lot of the back office and a lot of the processes that you would have to set up. And I also think, other tools, there's a student startup we have called Psych Insights that literally goes through Slack and makes recommendations about how to communicate with people. So I think the more tools that we can kind of cobble together to not even recreate the experience of being in person, but to expand the experience of being together wherever we are, I think it's got a bright future.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, Rhonda, this has been fascinating. You have a very unique point of view on all of this stuff, and thank you for sharing all of that with us today. I hope you have a great day, and it was wonderful talking to you.
My pleasure. Good luck, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you. All right, have a great day.